So, hello everybody, and a very happy new year to you all. I had more New Year's Eve tiny little videos to upload and share, but of course, being an idiot, I deleted them from my camera before uploading them onto the computer because I hadn't... Anyway, so they are lost, and it's very sad. I tried to capture... Ordinarily we have tons of fireworks going off all over Lake Macquarie, and you can see them just from looking out on my balcony over the lake in all the different suburbs. They've got gorgeous fireworks going, and last night for some reason it was really subdued and very hard to capture, and you could hardly see anything. And I filmed a bit of the TV for the Sydney fireworks, but you can watch that anywhere on YouTube. So anyway, welcome to 2011, and hopefully this is going to be a good year. So I thought I would try and do some of the question and answer stuff that you guys sent in for... The camera's shaking heaps, sorry. That you guys sent in for the 100 subscribers celebration thing. It's going to take forever, so it's going to be in a lot of parts. So here we go. Book Geek Music Freak, being Lorenzo, he asked these questions. Favorite song on Glee? That's really tough, and when I did my Glee tag, which I still have to upload some of that from like October, when I did my Glee tag I wasn't sure what to say, so let's think here. I'll just pick one of the ones that I've probably listened to the most in the grand scheme of things, and I'll have to say it would probably be when Chris Colfer did A House Is Not a Home. Yeah, and that was in the episode Home, in the latter half of season 1. Yeah, that was just really, really beautiful. Favourite character in a book? That would have to be Anne Shirley from the Anne of Green Gables series. I mean, obviously, you could say Harry Potter, but Anne's been around longer than Harry Potter in my life and in general, and I think when push comes to shove she ultimately means more to me personally. What type of reader are you? I'm very sporadic. I don't mean to be. I read by mood. I've said that in the past, and so essentially it's really ridiculous if I'm not feeling in the right mindset and emotional state, then I can't read a book even though I'm feeling very determined and I would sincerely like to read it, or I feel like I should read it, or it's been sitting on my shelf for a year and a half and I still haven't read it. I can't pick up a book and see it through unless I'm in the right space. So yeah, it's very annoying and it prevents me from reading an awful lot of stuff, but it's just, I just can't do it. It's ridiculous. But yeah, I would say very fickle and sporadic, and I wish I wasn't. I wish I could just, you know, have a set plan, see each book through, just pick them up and keep going, keep going and keep going, but I can't. I've never been able to. Oh, well, I guess more so when I was younger. It certainly got worse in my teen years, and now it's just how I roll. So hopefully eventually I will be able to be in the right mood for every single book on my bookshelf, and I will get through them all. But I figure you have books for life, hopefully. So they're always going to be there, and you'll always be able to pick them up at some point. So, random song from my iPod. I can't do that question right now because my iPod is not here, so I'm a doofus. So, Lorenzo, I will come back to that question. Okay, so, Brayden, I have no idea how to say your username. Tapintigara, we'll just say that. Tapintigara. Yeah, cool. So his question was, have I ever gone interstate or overseas? I've never been overseas because I'm boring and poor. So I've unfortunately never been to another country, or even Tasmania, which counts really. But I have gone interstate. I've been to central New South Wales tons and tons of times because we have friends out there living on a farm in the outback. And I've been to Melbourne and Queensland lots of times, and Adelaide as well. And the Melbourne and Adelaide trips were for seeing the Phantom of the Opera in those states. I'm pretty proud of that. Tatansia Dawn asks, one place I'd like to visit that has literary meaning. I've got tons and tons of places on this list. Of course, number one, I would love to go to Prince Edward Island because that is the setting for the Anne of Green Gables series, and there's tons of Anne-themed stuff everywhere all over the island, and it looks adorable, and it's all in my scrapbook, and I have it all planned out where I want to go. My mum and some friends really want to go with me too, so we are going to do that one day. It's going to happen. It's going to be fantastic. But I'd love to like go to the Opera Garnier and see stuff from Phantom of the Opera. My sister did that on my behalf when she was in Paris, which was very sweet of her. I mean, lots of stuff in Paris I'd like to do, and tons of places, obviously, in and around London even, that I'd love to go to Kensington Gardens and pretend that I'm in Peter Pan and all that kind of thing, because I'm a nerd. One character I didn't expect to like in a book, but I did end up liking. That's a good question. I would have to say, and it'll probably have to be from YA. And it would probably have to be a male romantic lead, because ordinarily I set out to hate those just instinctively. So, I would say both male characters in Lisa Manchev's Eyes Like Stars series. I like both Nate and Ariel, and I didn't really think that I'd have strong feelings for either of them, especially because it's a love triangle. So, yeah, I like those two very much, and for very different reasons. I think they're quite complementary characters. I also like most of the males in the Wicked Lovely series as well, even though several of them are very emotionally manipulative and quite dark, troublesome characters. I still think they're really interesting, and I love reading about them, so there you go. And this will be the last one for this video. Miss Sincere, I'm sorry, I know I haven't pronounced your username correctly, I apologise, asks my favourite genre of book. That would be obviously in young adult usually, but I like fantasy, just in general. So that's high fantasy, or like the little subgenres within that, like, you know, paranormal, romance, that sort of stuff. But fantasy is my thing. Favourite author? That's really tricky. I think it would have to end up being a tie between L.M. Montgomery, because she wrote the Anne of Green Gables series and was all round awesome, and Melissa Marr, who wrote the Wicked Lovely series, because I really respect her, and I think she has an awful lot of talent, and just as a person she seems very cool and intelligent, and yeah, I like her. Favourite book? That's a horrible question to ask when people ask that. I can't name a book, so I'll just say that the first Anne of Green Gables book is uber important to me, and always will be, and holds a very, very special place in my heart that's never going to be surpassed or usurped by any other book or any other character. So we'll say that. And I'm going to do some more questions in a minute.